Big up, big up, big up. It's your boy, Mark and MUFC fan. You know what it is, guys. Guess what it is? Your boy is back. Transfer market news. What's exciting is that there's lots of talk going around. There's lots of options available, guys. You know, the focus is youth right now. We may not have the funds to get in the transfer market this January in the winter, just like everyone might hope. And I'm talking about, you know, the big signings like Victor Gyokeres, the likes of Quenda, Giovanni Quenda, you know, these signings 80 to 84, 85 million plus, you know, possible might not be in January. Let's leave it for the summer, says the structure. Let's get targets that we can. So, guys, my thoughts are these are the possible options that we might be seeing coming in to Manchester United in the winter. Possible loan deals or possible deals that could be done if we move some chess pieces on, like some players in and out of the club, and bring in some at a lower cost. Young talent might be, you know, Premier League ready, possibly. You know what I mean? So let's look at it. Let's check it out. Let's see what they are for offer. Let's listen and talk about some of the things that are coming about right now. Most importantly, guys, I wanted to talk about some of the recent reports on Joshua Zirkzee, guys, because as you know, Joshua Zirkzee, yes, he is a talent. You know, he's coming to Manchester United this summer. He has not performed to his best abilities, but it's something that, you know, there's a lot of rumors and reports going around about him. But before we jump into that, let's talk a little bit more realistically on what could happen with Manchester United this summer, because as we know, Ruben Amorim has just came in, and everyone would be wondering, what is Man United going to do to support Ruben in this transfer window? Will United back Ruben Amorim with transfers? Will it be something like, you know, will they go into the January window, or will they wait until this summer after he has a chance to assess the squad over the period of the next 6 months and see what he really needs from what he really doesn't need in this team, who are from the current available players and the youth setup, I might add, because he has promoted some youngsters. So let's dive right into this article. Here's what they're saying. Ruben Amorim's Manchester United revolution promise amid pressures. Manchester United opponent of Ruben Amorim signals a deliberate shift from years of excessive transfer spending and a fragmented squad building approach. As reported by The Telegraph and others, Amorim faces a unique challenge transforming a squad with the untapped potential while operating under significant financial constraints. The club's intention to reduce churn and adopt a sustainable model comes at a time when their financial struggles are becoming increasingly evident, guys. A fresh start with a modest budget. Amorim inherits a squad brimming with potential, yet weighed down by inconsistent performances, with United averaging 5 signings per summer for the last decade. This constant overhaul has disrupted cohesion and wasted significant resources. Under Erik ten Hag, over 600 million was spent in 2.5 years, yielding limited success. But, you know, yeah, it's interesting, guys. More success than we've had in the previous 6 years, spending twice that much. But what can I say? What can I say? And the new directive is clear. Focus on nurturing young talent already present, and the likes of Rasmus Højlund. Mason Mount represent youthful promise. Well, Mason Mount is 25, guys, so I don't think he represents that. I think this article is a little bit being nice to Mason Mount, but I will substitute Mason Mount for the likes of, you know, an Amad Diallo or the likes of a Kobe Mainu. You know what I mean? And with Amorim, he must unlock them. However, his immediate task is assessing the new squad and how they can adapt to his preferred 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1 formations. Amorim's tactical philosophy, which has brought him success in Sporting Lisbon, is going to be critical in fostering a team identity that resonates with the fans. 100%. Big up to you, Campos. First overhaul. We don't sell players, though. Bro, what can I tell you? We've never really done too much. The most players we've sold was under Ten Hag. So this is why I keep trying to explain to people, you know, some of the articles, people have a little bit of an agenda in it. But let's get down to the most important part, and that's the financials, guys. Because, you know, as it seems, you know, we do have FFP problems. Not that drastic, I would say, but something that might keep us from being able to spend in excess of 30 to 40, even maybe 50 million pounds in the January winter window. The realities will shape the future plans, and the financial pressures loom large. A lost thing of 312 million over the past 3 seasons have highlighted the urgency for fiscal responsibility. Failing to secure Champions League qualification could exacerbate this issue, jeopardizing broadcast revenues and triggering penalties under the Adidas sponsorship. Now, that's not going to be too much of a stress, guys, because, we should be getting into the finals of this year's Europa League. So let's keep it optimistic where that's concerned. I wouldn't stress that too much. But rebuilding with care and patience, guys. This is my message to all of you. We need to be a little bit patient. United's leadership is intent on giving Amorim time to evaluate his squad before diving into significant player moves. This is a pragmatic approach that aims to curb impulsive decisions and ensure that any transfers align with the long-term vision that Amorim and the club have in their own discussions. Now, players like Eriksen, Maguire, Terrell, Malacia, whose contracts are nearing expiration, provide natural decision points for reshaping the team. Meanwhile, the fitness of key players like Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez, as well as Mason Mount will be critical as Amorim seeks to implement his style of play. Big up to Joe Blackman in the building. Amorim's emphasis on playing without fear and winning fans' patience through recognizable identity offers a glimpse of hope. However, whether this approach will satisfy the fan base accustomed to marquee signings and immediate results remain to be seen. You know what I mean? So sustainable goals and the immediate challenges, guys. Of course, we're currently 13th in the Premier League as we speak. We have our coming fixtures with the likes of Ipswich Town first, which provides an opportunity, to implement the ideas and give the fans a taste of what they might be to come. So let's see how it goes. And let's dive right into some of the things that Ruben might be interested in. And one of the most interesting things is right now what I've been hearing is that Ruben is keen to bring in one of these attacking players. And this guy, Yunus Akgün, it is one of those interesting players. We've seen him. He played against us at Galatasaray when we faced them in the Champions League. A young player, not that old, but he can definitely fit in the formation of a 3-4-3. Now, with this change, who might be the sacrifice to be made? I can't yet disclose that because I'm not 100%. We haven't seen the players play, but let's give you a little bit of what this player has to offer. He's a very much attacking player. He's a Turkish international. He plays outlet. He plays at the, of course, he plays for Galatasaray. He's 24 years old and he's both-footed. He plays as a number 10. He also plays in the midfield. He also can provide a role as an attacking striker. There's some interest because he's very versatile in the attacking roles and he can play anywhere across the front three. So it's one of those things, in the last couple games, he's had a few goals and assists, 6 to be exact, and 2 assists to be fair, including, 4 strikes in the Europa League for Galatasaray. So he has been performing really well. There's something where there's a relative, cheap price, according to what's been saying. It could be somewhere in the region of 6.5 to 8 million euros to get this player to come in to Manchester United. So it's a cheap solution, guys. A 24-year-old that's probably going to cost us around 6.5 to 8 million euros. That's not really expensive a deal to do. It's something that's really possible. And of course, you can offload a player and bring him in. The likes of Christian Eriksen can be offloaded. You know what I mean? I know some people might be excited to see what Eriksen has to offer in Amorim's system, but he might not be a player for the future, and Amorim might not be willing to waste time on having a stopgap. Big up to Joe. Don't forget to follow the house rules, guys. Hit the like button as soon as you walk in. I would be very grateful if you can do that. It really helps the channel grow, and I will thank you in advance. Big up to Joe Blackman in the building, and big up to Compost Smurf. Now, moving on, guys, there's some other interesting news coming, and it's coming in the form of Chris Rigg. And now everyone has been hearing about this Sunderland attacking midfielder. He's a very, very intense young footballer with a lot of talent and bright promise. He's been a stalwart performer so far, you know what I mean? And everyone at the Black Cats are very wary of the approach of top-flight clubs because everyone has their eyes on this young talent. And as per a report, the Old Trafford side have been long-term admirers of this young midfielder and are hoping to prize him away from the Stadium of Light before he signs his first professional deal with the Claret Club last summer. But under the ownership, we weren't able to get it done, and the Black Cats might not be willing to part ways with the 17-year-old. And he is very, very much a top talent. Now, because he's English, it provides a different option from the likes of Quenda, since he can come straight into our youth setup because he is English, right? So this is an advantage that holds with the deal with Chris Rigg. It's something that I know United are very keen on. The likes of Jason Wilcox and Dan Ashworth are particularly interested in bringing this player into the team. It's going to be a pricey affair, that's for sure, Campos Smurf, somewhere in the region of 14 and could be ranging in a high up to 25 million pounds. It's going to be a little bit of a pricey deal, but I think with the talent that he has been showing, it might be something that we can look at. Of course, you know, we have an aging midfield ourselves. Of course, Casemiro should be here for the rest of the season, but what happens beyond? You know, Bruno is here, but what happens beyond? You know what I'm saying, guys? So we have young talent emerging, but this young man is already playing, you know, in top flight consistently, week in, week out, and one of the best players, most consistent players in the team. So it's something that is going to be very interesting. And he has played with Amad Diallo, so he has familiarity there. So there will be someone at Manchester United who will, you know, make life a little bit easy for his adaptation when he comes into the fold. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Let's see how it goes, because, you know, he coming in could also provide competition for Amad, and we don't want to see Amad struggling so soon. Now, there's been some interesting reports coming in. Now, this is coming in from some European sources that Ruben Amorim wants Manchester United to acquire Jules Koundé from Barcelona. Now, guys, I don't know how exactly true this report is, but what I can say is that, you know, Jules Koundé is a top defender. He has been having a great season last season. He's having a good start to the season as well, performing really, really well in the right wing-back position for Barcelona. And he will definitely, certainly fit in a 3-4-3 setup, playing in a back three. Now, he already has a French teammate who is at Manchester United, who probably will be joining the French team sometime very soon in Lenny Yoro, maybe a year or two from now. You never know what could happen. He might have an explosive start to his United career when he does actually start playing games, and he could see himself getting into the French setup. So it's going to be interesting, guys. With Jules Koundé currently being an option, he's always being reported as a player that is wanted to come to United. First, it was with Thomas Tuchel. Now it's with Ruben Amorim. I'm not shocked if it's all agent driven to try and improve his stock, but at the same time, he is a top player. So let's see how it goes. It's going to be a pricey affair if we were to be going in for the likes of a Jules Koundé, because it's going to probably cost us somewhere in the region of 65 million euros to 70 million pounds. So it's going to be interesting, guys. Let's see how it goes. This is some interesting news that are coming up, some interesting developments. But, you know, some other news that people are talking about, I don't really like to talk about this guy too much. It's not a player that I rate at all, but at the end of the day, I have to keep it 100 with you guys. So, world-class 24-year-old, considering all options, United currently bidding hard to seal the deal. Interesting is what I would say about this statement. First of all, it starts off saying world-class. I think he's far from it. Big up to you, son. What's good, my bro? What's good? This is a non-story for me. We have Euro to play where he would. 100% Campos. So I'm just bringing the news, you know what I mean? And none other than they're talking about the likes of Alphonso Davies, guys. Hearing that he's possibly going to be on a free. There will be some competition for his signature. Of course, you know, Real Madrid is interested. I don't know if he's suited to the Premier League. I don't really rate him that much. He's a very quick player, not going to lie. He has some ability going forward as well. But I think Alvaro Fernandez, being a likely target for Manchester United, is one of those players that, you know, I would rather take my punt on young Alvaro than go for the likes of this player who's going to probably cost us somewhere in the region of 100 to 220K per week. You know what I mean, guys? Even if he's on a free, he's going to have to get a contract to back it up. So it's going to be an interesting one. Let's see what United do. It's going to be interesting. But it's, again, like I can say, there's a lot of possibilities happening in the market. Of course, it's January, so loans and quick deals are something that might be featuring a dominance. Everything is counting on the summer. And if you want to have a big signing, I would not be surprised that we have 2 or 3 in the summer. And of course, maybe 2 or 3 big outgoings to back that up, because we are definitely going to have to cut a corner on spending as well. So it's going to have to be done within the constraints of FFP. Now, there's been lots of reports, guys. We talked about Juventus interested. Well, some people have been talking about Victor Osimhen and a possible swap deal involving the likes of Joshua Zirkzee plus cash to get Victor Osimhen. But the biggest problem is Napoli is not even keen on that possible swap with Manchester United. So it's not going to be a situation where we're going to be able to cut the tax by offering them this player. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. What I can say to you is that they're going to definitely want somewhere in the region of 68 to 73 million pounds, possibly a little bit more for Victor Osimhen. And I don't think he's really worth that fee. But that's just me at the honest time. I know Joe Blackman is probably going to come in and play devil's advocate. You would take Davis on a free 100. That's good. But, I wouldn't mind, because if we do get him and he flops, I will be here to tell you I told you so. Because that's one player I think he can't even step on the pitch for a big club like Man United. That's just me. But you know what? It's a non-story for me, in my opinion. And same with the likes of this story of Napoli, getting a swap deal for Victor Osimhen. I think it's always going to be a straight cash deal. So let's see how it goes. But guys, what I would say to you, if we get Osimhen, there's no getting Gyökeres. So, you got to make your minds up. Who do you want? Which striker would you prefer? Victor Gyökeres or Victor Osimhen? Is it a battle of the victors? Who will be the victor? Let me know in the comments, guys. Be sure to smash a like and subscribe. It's a short transfer preview show for you guys today. I will be back on later on tonight. Don't be shocked. 8:30 UK. Join your boy Marken. Let's discuss more of the transfer targets, what could happen in the winter window, because it's going to be kicking off very soon. And guys, we are going to be here for it. Big up to each and every one of you. I hope you have a great day. We'll catch you all later. But it's been your boy Marken with the latest in transfer market news. Stay tuned for more as your boy continues to bring you the latest and, some of the most outstanding transfer reviews that you can find. Big up to you guys and have a great day.